Hello, Gasaholics. I'm Hot Rod Bob, and you've got Gas, Monday edition. I'm glad you could join me. And you are a Gasaholic. Gas, the Great American Auto Scene since 1990, your source for automotive information. Some humor thrown in, facts, figures, but it's all about cars. And today, I'm getting these conflicting information or conflicting definitions of what a pony car and what a muscle car is. Now, I've got my opinion, and I can support my opinion. So if you want to challenge it, go right ahead. Post your comments, your questions, whatever you have, on the YouTube channel for GAAS, the Great American Auto Scene. Don't be bashful. I don't take anything personally. I may get even, though. No, not really. But anyway, one of the things I talk about is pony cars and muscle cars. What's the difference? There's a significant difference. And I take offense. No, I don't take offense. It bothers me that people will look at a Mustang and say, oh, it's a muscle car. It never was a muscle car. A Camaro, it's a muscle car. It never was a muscle car. Now, the original definition of a pony car started back in the days when the Mustang was first introduced. Morning, Bob Alderman. How are you today? Now, the Mustang was so popular, the term pony car was coined to describe cars like the Mustang. Now, unfortunately, to an extent, the Mustang was not the first of what is to be called a pony car. The Barracuda actually beat the Mustang to market by 2-3 weeks or maybe a month. Nobody really noticed because the Mustang was so popular, and Ford blanketed the airways and the advertising in the Buff magazines and so forth with Mustang illustrations, ads, and so forth. But the pony car term stuck, and it applied to any vehicle that was a compact in size, long front end like the Mustang, short back end like the Mustang, hence pony car. Now, what cars actually look like a pony car? Well, the Camaro, the Firebird, the later Barracudas. The first Barracudas really didn't have short back ends. They had that big 14 cubic foot rear window, but it's still in that category. It's based on the compact size of the vehicle. And in the case of the Barracuda, it was based on the Plymouth Valiant back in the day. AMC didn't get into the pony car races until much later on with the Javelin and possibly the AMX, although the AMX is kind of questionable as to actually what it is. It was a two-seat car, and it was a Javelin shortened a bit. But AMC did have a car that would have competed directly in the pony car ranks back in 1964-65. It was called the Tarpon. It never came out, it never saw the light of day, because the president of AMC at the time, well, he just couldn't get in the car with his hat on. What the heck does that have to do with it? Anyway, they came out with the Marlin. Marlin was a muscle car. Now, why is the Marlin a muscle car? For the same reason a Plymouth Roadrunner, a Pontiac GTO, a Chevelle, they are muscle cars. Why? They're big. They're big cars. Now, they were medium-sized cars for the day, but they were still big cars in comparison to what a pony car was. Now, I was looking at a couple of articles today. One of them was in a magazine or internet magazine called Hot Cars. And you can tell the story is written by someone who is more youthful than this old codger. Because they say, they talk about the term, but they say, well, it's somewhat addressed because pony cars could be muscle cars. No, they can't be. It's either a pony car or it's a muscle car. And the definition pretty much supports what I just said in that short deck lid, long nose, compact base car is a pony car. Doesn't matter what size engine's in it. Now they say, oh, they could have been powered by a V6. How many of you remember V6s in 1964? When the Mustang was introduced? There was only one. It's a Buick V6. What was it in? Buick Skylarks. Or, well, later on it found its way into Jeeps. But it was a compact car engine. It was not a pony car engine. The original Buick Skylark was far from being a pony car. So it was never considered one. It was always considered a compact car. The Mustang was never considered a compact car. It was considered a pony car. Hi, Jonas. How are you doing today? From Sweden. Thank you for tuning in. And Nicole Pratt watching as well. So they go into pony car, and they say, so what's a pony car? How do you spot one? How do you miss them? That's my thing. So anyway, this shows their age or their lack of knowledge of these cars. But they do agree that the first to honor this was the Plymouth Barracuda, and it was launched in the beginning of, actually the end of March, beginning of April 1964, ahead of the Mustang. But again, short deck, long front end, compact car based. It is a pony car. The Mustang is a pony car. The Challenger is a pony car. The Camaro is a pony car. The Firebird, Camaros, that type of vehicle is a pony car. A medium-sized car, the Dodge Coronet, the Plymouth Satellite, the Roadrunner, the Super Bee, the Chevelle, the GTO, the later Pontiac, well, the later Buick Skylarks, the Oldsmobile Cutlass. Remember, those started out as compact cars, not pony cars, and not muscle cars or medium-sized vehicles. That came later on. So the Challenger versus Plymouth Barracuda, well, they're not muscle cars. Yes, you could have one with a Hemi. No question about it. You could order one with a Hemi. Does it change the body style? No, not at all. It is still a pony car based on the body type, not the engine. The engine never dictated whether it was a pony car or a muscle car. Now, you could get a Coronet or a Plymouth Satellite with a 318 V8 or even a six-cylinder. Were they muscle cars? No, but once you put the V8, the big V8s in them, they became muscle cars, but they were still medium-sized bodied cars. They were not compact cars. They were not short deck, long nose vehicles like a pony car. Period. End of discussion. It is not a pony car. If it is a Dodge Coronet, a Chevelle, a Plymouth Roadrunner, a Super Bee, a whatever, medium-sized car, not a full-size car. Now, the full-size cars could qualify because at one point in time, Chrysler's full-size cars were actually medium-sized cars by everyone else's standards. Chrysler misread the market and thought everyone was going to a smaller car. So in 1962, the Chrysler Corporation introduced a whole new line of vehicles. They were medium-sized cars. The market said, what? We want full-size cars. We don't want these medium-sized cars. They had to regroup and come up with larger cars. So their first production vehicles, the Savoys, the Dodges, and so forth, beginning in 1962, were actually medium-sized cars back in the day, if you go by dimensions. And I get dimensions, body types, body styles. That is what dictated a muscle car, a medium-sized car, or a pony car. It is not necessarily the engine, except in the case of the muscle car, where the muscle car had variants that were not muscular. Did the pony car have variants that were not pony cars? No. They were all pony cars. It didn't matter what the engine was. It was the body type. Muscle car refers to a medium-duty car or medium-sized car that has a muscular motor. Could there be medium-sized cars without muscular motors? Oh, you bet. Pontiac Tempest had a neat little overhead cam 6 at one point in time. Chevelle could be had with a 6-cylinder. All the medium-duty or medium-size, I keep saying medium-duty because I used to work in the medium-duty side of General Motors truck and Isuzu trucks. But the medium-sized vehicles could have an array of different engines, as did the pony cars. But the pony car body is the thing that determines it's a pony car, not the engine. And I can prove that by just looking at the cars and showing you what they are. But, you know, why people call them muscle cars? Not quite sure, other than they got big engines. So a pony car with a big engine is still a pony car. It's the body type, not the engine size. Does a pony car change its configuration or size because of the engine? No. Robert Roth is saying Toyota has muscle cars in the late 60s. Didn't Toyota have muscle cars? No. Toyota's never had a muscle car. They have higher performance cars, but they were never muscle cars. They weren't big enough. Toyota never imported a car the size that we call a muscle car. Molly Cody saying the Javelin. Yes, definitely. No question about it. AMC was a little late, as I said, to the game of pony cars, and the Javelin is definitely in that classification. Short deck lid, long hood, pony car. Did they have big engines? Yeah, you can get up to a 401 cubic inch motor in the Javelin and the AMX. Did it make them muscle cars? Not by a long shot. They are still pony cars. J.R. Moore is watching. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so pony car, muscle car. Pony car, based on the description given to a Mustang. The Mustang is what created the name pony car back in 1964. Challenge it, prove it. You can't. Because if you go to muscle cars, they were a different body type. I'm Hot Rod Bob. You've got gas, the Great American Auto Scene. The discussion today is pony car versus muscle car. And if you're as old as I am, you know what a pony car really is. Yep, I'm old. I'm there. I've made it. I succeeded to get there. All right, I'm Hot Rod Bob. You've got gas, the Great American Auto Scene. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow with more controversial subjects, maybe. Not really. But we'll talk about cars. Have a great day. Like, share, and subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. And you'll see and hear all of these shows every day. Hi, Lori. How are you doing? Have a great day. I'm Hot Rod Bob, and you've got gas. Thanks for tuning in and being a gasaholic.